Here's the script based on the text you provided. Hi. So I'm a 25-year-old woman currently being pushed back and forth with my choice, and I thought the lovely people of Reddit might be able to rein me in. I am currently 13 weeks pregnant, and my friends around me have all been very happy and excited for me. However, my childhood friend, let's call her Lisa, has stonewalled me since I announced it at 8 weeks. I had assumed it was wedding stress, but now I'm second-guessing this. Over the weekend, I was scrolling through Instagram and came across a post where she thanked everyone for coming to her bachelorette. There were photos of the girls and her smiling in the middle, and I sort of sat there shocked. At first, I tried to be mature and just let it go, but this was a girl I grew up with. She was a bridesmaid in my wedding party, and I'm an honorary bridesmaid for hers. She's not having a wedding party. In the end, I guess hormones took over, and I ended up reaching out to her. At first, I went, "Oh, looks like fun," and she replied that it was. After a tub of ice cream and a good sob, I reached out again and went, "Hey, sorry to be this person, but why wasn't I invited?" She immediately messaged me back with the response. To be honest, the whole day was centered around drinking, wineries, and heading to town after, and I'm not sure you would have enjoyed being around all of us drunk, especially because you're pregnant right now. I get that an invite would have been nice regardless, but in all honesty, I just wanted to keep it very small. I'm really sorry you feel that way, but I don't want to make this a big thing because I've already had a shoot week. I tried to respond with, "Hey, thanks for getting back to me, but I'm still upset because the day is about you, and I wanted to be there to celebrate you." Then she called me and just asked me not to make this a big thing once again. She sounded incredibly annoyed, and like the doormat I am, I dropped it. After thinking this over for the past few days, I'm feeling very hurt and heartbroken. This was a girl I grew up with and loved and supported through a lot. I've helped her plan and prepare a lot of her wedding, so to suddenly get iced out like this, I'm feeling a certain way. My husband suggests we don't go, and I'm on the edge. So, Reddit, would I be the jerk if I declined going to her wedding and distanced myself? Now for a few comments. One commenter said, "NTA, her saying, 'Don't make this a big thing' would piss me off. If you guys are close, then she 100% should have at least invited you." Another commenter added, "I'm an honorary bridesmaid for hers. She's not having a wedding party. What the heck is this? Is it a new fad I haven't heard of, or a way to get more partying and gifts from your friends without having them in the wedding?" Then another commenter speculated, "I'd say there's a good chance she is lying about not having a bridal party, and that will be another cruel surprise for OP if she attends." Now for the one-day update. Hi, hope this is allowed, but you were all so wonderful and helpful, and it turns out I got an update sooner than I expected. I haven't heard from Lisa, which I expected. What I didn't expect is a friend of Lisa to get in touch with me. Let's call her Sarah. I knew of Sarah and spoke to her a few times at events we attended together. She was one of the girls who went wedding dress shopping for Lisa, and she was also a friend I noticed wasn't at the bachelorette, which was a surprise. Anyway, at first, she was doing a, "Hey, how are you?" and we did polite small talk until she finally went, "So are you as pissed off and mad as I am at Lisa?" Immediately, I was slightly shocked as the few times I had met Sarah, she was very, I guess, demure. That opened the floodgates of information, and she told me everything she knows. So what I didn't put in the post is I actually waited 2 days before messaging Lisa about the lack of invite. Turns out, 3 of Lisa's friends, who also weren't invited, hit her up immediately after she posted on Instagram, asking why they weren't invited. Turns out these girls absolutely chewed Lisa alive, and my confrontational was soft. Finally, it was revealed what actually happened, and now I'm even more confused. So Lisa admitted to Sarah that her sister-in-law planned the bachelorette, and just decided she was only going to invite the friends she knew. Lisa's usual group of 8 to 10 friends, including me, got narrowed down to 4, and Lisa decided not to correct her sister-in-law and just went with it, not realizing how many people she would be upsetting by not inviting people. Apparently, once people started attacking her, Lisa buried her head in the sand and started making up lies to everyone on why they weren't invited, using the same excuse of, "Don't make this a big deal," until everyone realized the reasons were nonsense and called her out for it. And the real truth came out. Sarah informed me the girls who weren't invited have all pulled out of the wedding, their partners included, because they got the same annoyed response from Lisa before she told the truth. They all thought they didn't deserve that. Then she finally asked me what Lisa told me, and I went deathly quiet on the phone before finally admitting she used my pregnancy as an excuse, which then started poor Sarah on another rant of anger on how Lisa could say that to me when I'm pregnant. Anyway, we ended the call, and she hoped we could get coffee sometime. So I think I've made a friend? So, that's the update. This pregnant lady is very confused, and I'm currently the #1 buyer of ice cream at my local dairy. LOL. Now for a few more comments. One commenter said, "Don't go. Whatever is going on behind the scenes will ensure this isn't a celebratory event with friends and laughter. Finish whatever tasks you're working on, promised for the wedding, and bow out. Another commenter added, and when she drops out of the wedding, OP should use her pregnancy as the reason. Then another commenter expressed, so my biggest issue with all this is Lisa lying to you and her other friends. I suspect if she had been honest with you, this wouldn't have been a big thing. One more commenter questioned, I can't figure out why the hell she posted it online. To which the original poster replied, I think that's the part that I'm struggling with as well. It's the fact she posted it online. It's the fact that the caption was, couldn't have asked for a better day, blessed with the best of friends. Now for the post. And maybe I'll admit that's an odd thing to get upset about, but it just felt a bit like someone cut me open and then rubbed salt and lemon juice into the wound. It's one thing not being invited. It's another seeing a caption like that and having the internal thought of, I'll just go frick myself then. Now for a comment. Significant Planter said, okay, so I was actually feeling bad for her, thinking that maybe she has a sister-in-law that is domineering and one of those people that everyone just goes along with because they will throw a literal fit if you don't. And then I read the caption. No idiots here. She did that shoot on purpose. Just cut her out of your life. You just read how she feels about you. Am I the idiot for refusing to change my baby's name despite my father's affair drama? I just gave birth to my daughter Annabelle. I didn't announce it beforehand because in the past one of my family members stole a baby name and it created a lot of drama. My mom wanted to know, but I was adamant about keeping it a secret. My mom and dad were in the room when I gave birth, and when it was time for me to sign the birth certificate, my mom asked for the name, and I told her, Annabelle. Her face went pale, and my dad didn't look too happy, but he said he loved the name. My mom left a few minutes later, claiming she didn't feel well. She said she'll come over in a few days to help with the baby. Now I'm at home with the baby, and my mom hasn't talked to me that much. We used to talk every day, so I was confused by this sudden behavior. My sister Emily lives with mom still, so I called her over to talk. When she got to my house, she explained how she overheard dad and mom arguing because about 10 years ago, dad had an affair with a coworker named Annabelle. Mom hasn't been talking to him, and he's been trying to get her to talk. I guess dad, realizing that Emily had come over, decided to come over himself. He asked if there is any way that I can change Annabelle's name. I asked him why to see if he'll tell me the truth, and he did. He admitted to the affair. He begged mom not to leave him, and she stayed. But just hearing that name had always put her in a bad headspace. I told him I can't, and that Annabelle was the name of my husband's grandmother who helped raise him. My dad begged and pleaded for me to change it, saying mom was in the middle of packing her bags and heading to her sister's house. I told him I won't change her name and that it means so much to me and my husband. He began to raise his voice, and immediately my sister yelled back and told him to get the hell out. She told him not to stress me out about a mess he created. He left immediately. I'm not changing my baby's name, but I feel like this is tearing the family apart. What should I do? Small edit. Annabelle isn't her real name. Her real name only has 3 letters, so a nickname based off her name wouldn't be possible. And a lot of you suggested to change her first name to her middle name, but her middle name is my mom's name, and I don't want to change that. Now for a few comments. One commenter suggested changing the name, saying it's the graceful thing to do. I responded that it really is a problem for me. My husband's mom had him at a really young age, so his grandma raised him. She recently passed away, so this is our way to honor her. And this is a baby we've been trying for, so for the past 6 months, we've been calling her Annabelle. In this case, my husband's feelings matter more than my mother's, because this is his child too. Another commenter found it odd to name her that, suggesting it would be hurtful in my mom's position. I explained I didn't know until 4 days later, and paperwork is already filed, so now it will cost to change the name. Now for the 1-day update, my sister went over to my aunt's house to talk to my mom about what happened. My mom then came to my house to talk. She broke down saying how sorry she is for being distant and that it was wrong not to communicate with us about what was happening. She said, while the name did shock her at first, she knew how much Annabelle meant to my husband and that she'll never do anything to discredit the work she put into raising him. I asked why she didn't tell us about the affair. She said because she knew that she was mentally too weak to leave, and the last thing she wanted was to show us it's okay to stay with a man who cheated on you. I asked if she planned on leaving dad, and she said she doesn't know. She admitted that she never got over the affair and is mad at herself for ruining the moment her granddaughter was born. I told her, is there a nickname that she wants to call her by, and she said no, and that she wants to honor the memory of Annabelle's great-grandmother. We hugged it out and talked. So I think everything is okay. More comments came in. One commenter noted that it sounded like mom just needed time to mentally process, and hoped they could move forward positively. I agreed, explaining that I thought when my dad came over, it was a condition my mom had in order to heal their relationship. But she never said anything like that to him. Another commenter warned that things might not be fixed, and that mom might associate my child with her life falling apart if she ends up divorced. I acknowledged this possibility, but expressed confidence that no one would blame my child. My father will be responsible. Even my aunt told her that the baby is innocent, and that nobody is to blame but my dad. My mom looks up to my aunt and usually listens to her advice. I'm pretty sure my aunt was pushing for her to start a divorce, so it's most likely going to happen. Am I the idiot for changing my will after my fiancé used detergent that could kill me? My fiancé and I recently bought a house together, and we received basic things from his family as housewarming gifts. His grandmother gifted us a huge package of laundry detergent. Here's where the problem starts. I am highly allergic to most laundry detergents. It's not just uncomfortable itchiness. It's vomiting, diarrhea, temporary loss of eyesight, and eventually loss of consciousness. I've been hospitalized multiple times because of this. We use 2 brands that I'm not allergic to, but he complains that they don't smell nice. I know he used to use a lot of fabric softener to make clothes smell good. I offered to try new detergents slowly because he keeps complaining, but not anytime soon since I'm 8 months pregnant and afraid of the consequences. We still have enough of the safe ones. He agreed, and I thought the topic was settled. But then his brother gifted us baby clothes, and my fiancé kept commenting on how good they smelled and how he wanted our clothes to smell like that. While sorting through them, I felt off, like my body felt wrong. I washed every part of my body that touched the clothes and refused to touch them without gloves. He bought the gloves for me, so he knows I'm still allergic. Despite this, he used the gifted detergent on our towels. I didn't notice until I started folding them. My hands got hot and numb. At first, I thought I was allergic to one of the safe ones until I saw the gifted detergent opened and shoved into a corner. Our other detergents were open and available, so I don't get it. I texted him asking if he used the gifted detergent. He said yes, what's the big deal? I told him it's not funny and that he's risking my life and our unborn sons. He called me a drama queen and ignored me. So, I changed my will. He gets nothing now. Neither my part of the house nor my assets. Everything goes to my son, with my family as trustees until he's of age. If something happens to us both, my cousins will inherit. My fiancé was originally meant to be the trustee, with guidelines to make our son's life comfortable. Now for a few important comments. One commenter asked if I'm sure I want to marry this person. I replied, honestly, I'm not quite sure at the moment. He changed completely after I got pregnant. He used to take safe sheets and blankets to friends so I could sleep there without worrying. Now for the update. A lot has happened. He kept doing mean things. Our animals don't seem to like him anymore. I gave the ring back. My car isn't working. I went home, but at least he got rid of the laundry detergent. We had an uneventful conversation when he returned home. He justified using the detergent because there were cleaning towels among the normal ones. I asked how that mattered since I wasn't going to dry myself with those. There were only 2 cleaning towels and over 10 normal ones. He didn't answer and started ignoring me. That was enough of an answer for me. I watched his behavior towards me to figure out what was going on. He was my best friend, and I didn't want to believe I mattered so little to him. The next incident happened soon after. I was carrying a heavy drawer and struggled a lot. He was busy working on a shelf. I asked for help, but he didn't react. I asked where to put the drawer since he was sitting in front of the shelf. He told me to put it on the floor, so I did. I didn't see my Kircher in time and put the drawer on the vacuum tube. Nothing broke, and it was mine. It was just laying in the middle of the room. He lost his temper, asked if I can't even use my one brain cell, and implied I was dumb. That hurt. I started crying silently and went to the living room. He followed later, upset because I was still sad, and said it was just a joke. I told him it hurt me and asked for an apology. He did not apologize, just said it was a joke. I wish it stopped there, but I fell, had mild cramps, and a bloody knee. I called him because I don't have friends in this country, and he was the only one available. I knew his boss would let him go. He didn't pick up or read my messages. He came home an hour late, not from work, but visiting a friend he gave the detergent to. He helped me, but even a stranger would have been kinder. He told me to lay down since I was too dumb to walk and endangering our son's life. I wanted to nap on the couch, but he started vacuuming the house, spending 40+ minutes cleaning the same spots, mumbling how I didn't clean today and how messy I am. I cleaned every day since being on maternity leave, and before that too. I would be comfortable with visitors at any given hour. After vacuuming, he asked about mop parts his grandmother put in our house weeks ago. I told him she put them next to the vacuum cleaner. So much for, I never clean and can't do anything right. If he ever vacuumed in the last weeks, he would have noticed them. But he decided to vacuum while I was doing badly and just needed a nap. He just doesn't like me anymore. I am heartbroken to say that, but he truly doesn't. At least our cat and dog have picked up on that. Our cat keeps his distance from him now, doesn't want to be pet, and bites or scratches him when he tries to cuddle with him. My beloved dog keeps himself between me and him, follows me around, and tries to avoid him. While he still wags his tail when he comes home, it's just not the same. I don't know how to describe it, but I don't recognize him anymore. The animals can feel his anger too. He looks at me with such contempt and is very mean towards me. I thought he would be my forever, but he won't be. He is punching our walls. He is hiding his phone. I am sad and tired. I don't even have the energy to go through his phone because even if there would be answers to his behavior, I just don't care anymore. I am just sad. I gave him the engagement ring back. He didn't seem to care. My car's battery doesn't work at the moment, so I will have to figure that out. As some of you guessed, I am indeed from Germany, while he is from a neighboring country. I am 7 hours from my family and about 3 hours from the border by car, so I don't have to fly, luckily. I am sleeping in the guest room, on a couch, for the time being. My ex-fiancé seems very content with that. Now he is just on his phone constantly and leaves me be, for the most part. Thank you for all your input, kind words, and messages. For the people who claim this is fake, believe me, I wish it was.